really good salesperson is really someone that listens more than talks. One thing that I was kind of surprised about is recently we had Omani celebration night. I did this dance. It was a traditional dance called Al Bara. So after I did this dance, we wanted to invite people from the crowd to come in and try to practice this dance. As an idea, it's very nice and cool, but there was a question of, will there be someone from the crowd that will eventually come in and want to dance? If that was me 1 or 2 years ago, I would never be this comfortable. Like, I felt that I was very comfortable having that microphone and talking to more than 120 people and trying to actually, it's not just this is bara, this is a dance. No, you're literally asking them to come into the stage and trying to practice something they know nothing about and how to do it. Wow, it's been very long time. Welcome everybody to the Forza podcast. It's been a very long time since I did my last episode. I think it was 6 months ago or something like that. But I'm Aziz. I was a salesperson for the past 8 months. The podcast is usually in Arabic, but for some reason, after this whole period, I got used to English a lot, and I've been practicing English for too long right now, to the point that I've been thinking that I might just start doing it in English. And because of the surroundings and the environment I'm in right now is also supporting the fact that I can just speak in English. Because also in social media, I'm working a lot on LinkedIn and Instagram and everything like that. And it just helps me to remain talking and speaking English, because there are different softwares that also translate it and put like captions below, which is, I haven't seen any app that does that in Arabic. If there is, just let me know about it, and that I might change it back to Arabic. I never know. So this past 8 months has been crazy for me. I've gone through a lot in just a matter of 8 months. So what I've been doing, if you checked my last episodes, I talked about me getting a new job and starting something new. So I've been working in sales. I was a salesperson. I worked in Cincinnati for the past 8 months, like I said, and this experience has taught me a lot. So what I'm going to talk about today is the past experience that I went through, everything that I have been through, the things that I learned, how it benefit me, and what's also my next steps for me personally, and also with the podcast. Am I gonna, remain doing episodes? Am I gonna still speak in English, Arabic? I never know. Okay, but this is what this episode is gonna be about. So first of all, I got my laptop here. I got all my notes. I'm more organized right now. Of course, that's part of being a salesperson, is to be very organized and just disciplined. That's something that I learned a lot. So I'm gonna share everything that this episode is basically gonna be a summary of what I did, how I did it, how it's been for me, um, what I learned, and what are the main things that I got from it, and also the next steps. Okay, just to stay organized and just some expectations. So I worked in sales. Okay, it was a company in Cincinnati. I'm not gonna go a lot into detail because I just came out of that company and now I'm looking for new opportunities. So I'm not in sales anymore. So I've been working in Cincinnati, and the type of work we did was, it was B2B. It was business to business, or sometimes they call it door to door, and I don't know. So the main thing we did was we worked with 500 Fortune 500 clients, that we sold services and products from them to consumers, to local businesses and small businesses. So what we did was, basically, we had a program. We had a product or service from those clients, the people that we worked with, and we sold those services and products. And we went to small businesses, like I said, convenience store, and we met with the manager or the employees there. We built relationships with, and also we tried to sell them that service or product from a company, let's say company X. Okay, they gave us a service, and they were like, there's a certain small business or a local business that you only can go to. It's not for everybody. It's only for local businesses. And then we went to these local businesses, and then we entered and we introduced ourselves. We built a relationship. Like, how you doing today? What's been, how's your weekend? We just start building relationships, and then we tell them why we're here and why this service is good for them, and we just ask questions to see if they qualify or not, and then we just try to sell them that um, service or product. Sometimes that service or product is for free; they don't have to pay anything for it, and it's very convenient. And some other times later on in my sales job, we had to work with other clients that we had to sell things literally for customers. We went to businesses and we tried to sell them phones, and they had to pay a lot of money for it, which was very hard and demanding. But it also taught me more about sales, like hardcore sales skills, which was great. But so we were face to face. So we literally go face to face to people. We don't cold call. We don't call people. We don't email them. We only go face to face. And that was very, I think, beneficial to building my interpersonal skills, communication skills, how to persuade people, how to listen to them. So we had different teams in our office that some teams had different programs, some teams had the same programs, but um, I think the face-to-face aspect really taught me a lot about the foundation and the essence of selling, like really real skills of selling. Like you see the people when you go to a mall and they try to be like, "Hey, can you try this perfume?" And you can tell the difference between a good salesperson and a bad salesperson is, and that what they taught us is how to be a good salesperson. One of the things that I really learned about sales or about a real good salesperson is that a really good salesperson is really someone that listens more than talks. If you find someone that's trying to sell something and he's talking at you, then he's not really a good salesperson. If you find yourself talking to that salesperson more than he's talking to you, then that's a good salesperson. Why? Because he had the skills and the ability of making you tell them your experience. And that's something that was a very good lesson for me, is try to introduce yourself, give a brief background of why you're there, and then after that just keep asking questions and just start listening. Never talk. Talking over people is gonna get you out of the out of the sale, and not listen to people is not never a good thing for a salesperson. So that's one of the things that also taught me a lot. I've never been this disciplined in my life. That's something this job has taught me a lot. So one other thing that I was also contributing other than the sales was recruiting. So it was interviewing other people or other candidates to come to our office and start working for us. So I worked with my HR manager, and she taught me a lot about interviewing, about how to prepare for an interview, how to talk to people, what questions to ask, what questions not to ask, and how to word certain words. So that was something that I think will pay a very good price in the future for me, because I graduated with an entrepreneurship degree, and that's something that I'm willing to pursue in the future. Is I want to start my own practice, my own business one day. So I think all of these aspects, the sales, the recruiting, and also One other thing that they taught us was how to run meetings and public speaking, how to present yourself, how to present your ideas, how to talk to people in from different backgrounds and different views, and how to persuade them about your ideas. So that's something they also taught us very well. And one thing that I was I was kind of surprised about is recently we had our Omani celebration night, and I did this dance. It was a traditional dance. It was from my own region. It's called the Bara. So after I did this dance, we wanted to invite people from the crowd to come in and try to practice this dance, which was very, as an idea, it's very nice and cool and sounds wonderful. But there was a question of, will there be someone from the crowd that will eventually come in and want to dance? Will some people will feel intimidated, and I was like, why not? It really depends on how you word stuff and how you try to persuade them to come in that mindset. I learned that from this position. Why? Because I already know that I already have the skill and the ability to persuade people to come in, because that's something that also they taught us from running the meeting, from the public speaking. So I'm gonna show you a clip of, if you're not watching, you can just listen. But it's a clip of me in stage trying to persuade the crowd to come in to the stage and practice the bara. So the main thing that I was surprised about in this moment was, if that was me 1 or 2 years ago, I would never be this comfortable. Like, I felt that I was very comfortable having that microphone and talking to, I think it was almost more than 120 people of the crowd, and trying to actually ask them. It's not just you presenting an idea, or just coming in and be like, hey, this is bara, this is a dance. No, you're literally asking them. It's just an extra step you're doing. You're asking them to come into the stage and trying to practice something they know nothing about and how to do it. But I found myself be very comfortable with coming and be like, yeah, hey, you saw the clip. Everything that I said, I was like, wow, I'm really comfortable talking to people and asking them to come in. And then actually, we had a very good time. That is something that I think this experience had taught me a lot, is first of all, the ability to be like, yeah, just fuck it, let's do it. And if no one came in, I'll be like, just looking at people and trying to call their names. But I didn't get to that point. Why? Because I had the skill that I learned, like I said, from this experience. But one thing that I learned was the ability to do and start doing actions more than thoughts. And one thing that I realized about myself was, there were some times where I just got really into my head. What that really means is, basically, there are a lot of times where people can get inside their heads and start overthinking every single step they do. Like, what if I did this, and what if this didn't happen, and what if this didn't work? And that's something. In that moment when I was on stage, I wasn't like that. I was just action, action, action. I'm gonna do this action. I'm gonna do the things that are in my control, and the things that are not in my control, I'm not gonna focus on. I'm gonna control me presenting, talking to people, and then we'll see what happens. If no one came in, I'm gonna start calling names. If no one still came in, who cares? It might be an awkward moment. It might be, but at least I did the action, which is something that is very essential and can eliminate procrastination. A lot of people procrastinate. I used to procrastinate a lot. I still do. I'm still a human being. But instead of just start overthinking things and every single step, would this work? Would this not work? What would they say? What would they do? It's just to, like, stop and just do the action. That single lesson has been very essential for me because I have a better relationship with time because I don't really waste time like I used to do before. Because before it was like, I'm just procrastinating. I'm overthinking stuff. I'm not really doing action, which doesn't feel like I'm being productive. But now it's more about just doing action, less thinking and less planning, and more actions, more actions, more actions. And then I can be more comfortable with me with time because I'm not wasting time in the first place. So yeah, I think those are some of the main things that I learned a lot. And I think the main most important thing that I really learned from this experience and what my leaders have taught me in this experience was the mindset piece. Mindset. My mindset has shifted to a whole different level right now. My mindset, and I've been through a lot during this experience. The other side of this, other than the mindset and how I got better a lot with mindset. I had a lot of moments in during that experience where I felt very lonely. I I had the lowest time in my life during that time. It was very hard. It was I every single day. Sometimes I felt very anxious. Was worried about tomorrow and will things work and will I be able to sell because our job was performance based. It was commission based. There's no base salary. So it all depended on me selling in order to me to get money, for me to get paid. So that idea and that concept gave me a lot of anxiety. But I think the people that I worked with, my leaders, my coworkers, my friends, my roommates, they're actually my roommates. They helped me a lot. And I'll share with you everything that happened and all the weird things, the strange things that happened, and it's been very strange. But it was also very unique, and also it was very hard. So I'm gonna share all of those stories and all of those experience. I just wish you guys can support this podcast again, and for me to come back and make content and to talk about my experience. I really miss this. It's something that I tried to make it work during that time when I was in that job, but it just couldn't happen because of time, because of work, because of priorities. But thank you all for listening. I'm looking forward for the next episodes and the next experiences that I'm gonna talk about, and hopefully it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be very beneficial and helpful for a lot of people that are coming outside of college, going into their career, professional life, but also for the people that are studying abroad and are thinking of doing OPT or sponsorship and start working in that country they're studying in, which is great. I really recommend doing that because you really have no risks. I would say the risk is very minimal. It's gonna be only you. If you're not paying for someone else or anything like that, it's only you. Every single thing that will happen, or something wrong that will happen is only gonna happen to you. You're not gonna be responsible for anyone else other than yourself. Thank you for listening. I'm really looking forward for the next episodes that we're gonna do, and there's gonna be a lot of content, a lot of experiences, and I hope to really benefit you and for you to start, engaging in everything. Don't forget to like, share this episode, and subscribe. Because we're coming back, baby. عزيز الفضة. فرصة سعيدة.